EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the world's steel capital in the city of bridges, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and Acrisure Stadium.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports.
And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now. Back to throw. Howard. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's third down. You look at this Baltimore defense.
It's quite a unit, that's for sure. Number one in the NFL against the pass.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive.
Ready. Trap 60. 70 Rangers. Hurt. 18, Pioneer. Hut.
Looking to throw. Howard. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him.
Nnamdi Madubuike in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. The Steelers' new punter for 2024, Corliss Waitman on to punt. Deontay Hardy deep for Baltimore.
It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return, and the Ravens, they'll take over. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
This defense for the Steelers, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Washington.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
Their first possession of the game, and they're already going after double coverage.
That's a nice completion that can set the tone for things to come if they're able to keep finding ways to beat what the defense is throwing at them. They look like they're confident that they can get it done.
And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Jackson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Part of what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means he'll need to come up with something here on third down. Buying time to his left. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the first down. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now fourth down.
Well, you know, paramount for this defense is trying to keep Lamar Jackson somewhat contained when he tries to run. They did a pretty good job of it there.
And you know what's so difficult for every defense that has to prepare for Lamar Jackson? You have to think and play at the same time. And I know that sounds like something you're supposed to do, but when you have to think about your assignments against him, it often slows down your feet. You don't move as fast. You've got to be prepared for this guy every step of the way and then try and match his athleticism.
A first down carry for Henry. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Second down and 4.
Again, it's Henry. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
From the gun on third down, Jackson escaping the pressure right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. T.J. Watt, he's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up fourth down. Now the Ravens bring out the field goal unit here. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. And this is going to be no good. He misses it off to the left.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
They work now on 2nd and 9.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. They need 2. Here's third down.
19 Lions. Sack.
Back to throw. Howard. That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. Oh, pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least, it'll be fourth down.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
A 40-yard punt, no return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And they are back down to 500 following the loss last week. Consistency has been a real issue for them so far.
Brandon, you almost don't know what team is going to show up every week. I mean, there's no consistency with this ball club at all, and if we feel that way, I know it frustrates the coaching staff, and it also has to frustrate the key leaders in the locker room. They got to figure out how to get coordinated.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
To throw is Jackson. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
They'll get this up to the 47 and brought down there.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Here's Jackson to throw. Flushed out right. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing the throw. Now they got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the first down. And don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 40. A strong pickup of 11 keeps their drive alive.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, Jackson. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown.
Rashad Bateman,
his 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Ravens post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter.
And when the quarterback drops and has a guy that wide open in the end zone, his eyes have to get just as big as grapefruits.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, this is the easiest throw you're going to get, and you're going to get the benefit of a touchdown on top of it. Make that throw.
He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42. Great return.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. They'll find that, and he fumbled it. It's on the ground, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And his crew will take over at the 45-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry.
And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43.
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Veteran running back like him, we've seen a lot of those chunk carries in his career.
And that's why you don't just look at his birth certificate and decide when a guy is done, right? Because you know as well as I do, in this league, As soon as you hit 30, they're looking to let you go if you're a running back. Sometimes there's a little tread left on the tires.
They keep it with Henry on first down. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
8-0 our score with 2 minutes left in the second quarter.
Hey, middle.
10th carry now for Derrick Henry. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
They snap it at 1. Now it's Jackson. And that is incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated. I haven't met a quarterback yet that didn't enter the league with a massive chip on his shoulder if he wasn't a first-round pick. They want to show the league that they made a big mistake. Determined to get the first down there, no hesitation at all to tuck it and go. I bet he would have tried running through their entire defense if it meant reaching that marker.
Back to throw now on first down. Eluding the pressure right. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Howard. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Back to throw. Howard. And he whips that one incomplete there.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Howard.
He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth.
Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Boswell's kick is good, and they get on the board trailing now 8-3.
Well, still trailing here, but they do get the late field goal. Now their defense will try to keep this score right where it is heading into the locker room. Yeah, and trailing at the break, you obviously don't want to go in off of a negative play. Give them credit for that one. Finding a way to put points on the board. Give them any type of a spark, anything to build off of as they try to plan a comeback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And with only 9 seconds remaining, well, not much time, we'll see how they play this. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. With that last effort, he has reached now 10,000 career rushing yards. Congratulations.
Big-time congratulations. That also means that his publicist can make sure all the information gets to every voter out there who has a say in the Hall of Fame. Fashioning together a heck of a resume.
And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
They'll run it again with Henry. And I think the ball's out.
Oh, one of the linebackers has got it.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
Henry out of the pistol. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustment, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
Throwing is Jackson.
This throw taken in by Isaiah Likely.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
Well, so often now we're praising tight ends for their nimbleness and how they catch the ball downfield. But occasionally we get a reminder that tight ends, they've got that tough guy aspect too. How about him catching that short one there, shaking off tacklers, and turning that into an expansive gain downfield.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
It's a 10-yard gain there to set him up first and goal.
But they've certainly not shied away from throwing the footballs. They've leaned on their quarterback to start this game. 4 straight passes right out of the gate, with that last one earning them a new set of downs.
Hey, officer, what? Hey, this one.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Lamar Jackson, his second touchdown of the game, 17th on the year, as his guys are able to extend their lead.
Well, that was all Lamar Jackson all the time on that drive, both through the air and in the end with the touchdown run.
Yeah, how about him doing things a little bit on the reverse side there, Brandon, because he softened him up throwing the football and opened up the running lanes. And when he gets a little bit of a sliver, he's gone. And that's exactly what he did there.
And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. Unable to corral him. He fights through.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
And
that's caught inside the 35. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line.
That completes it again to Metcalf.
And down inside the 15 he goes. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to...
And in for the Steelers, touchdown.
Pat Freiermuth
from 10 yards out.
And the Steelers have got it back to within a score.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker, sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
Boswell good with the extra point, and the lead will shrink to 6. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. The lane opens here. He's past the 30.
Deontay Hardy on the return. The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
Pretty important 3rd quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Jackson. Flush to his right. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
Partner just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
Third down and 1.
And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
And what a weapon to have when you can use your quarterback as a short yardage runner and pick up first downs.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Here's Jackson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
On the return, Johnson. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead. Now Howard throwing to start the drive. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
That sure looked like a nice call by the defense, and they're very cohesive in their coverage. As soon as he cut inside, they broke on the football and met him as the ball got there and forced the incompletion.
2nd and 10. Back to throw. Howard. Well, what a heck of an effort there as he'll make the diving catch. A gain there of 21 yards. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Now wasted time going right back to DK Metcalf. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. And that will be incomplete as well.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
19 tight.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on 4th down. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Their defense forced the turnover on downs. They've got the lead. They're in good shape, but can't go into a shell here, right? Still got to be careful.
Yeah, because they're still a long way away from kneel down time. So they've got to work on getting first downs, keep the sticks moving, right? Keep the clock going. And above all, ball security. Don't turn it over.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's a 2nd and 4.
Henry will get it. He's been busy today. Only a yard of the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. From the gun, it's Jackson. Escaping the pressure right, and he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And a drive that stalled out last time. Went for it on 4th, didn't get it. How does that translate here? I would imagine momentum's with the defense.
Definitely with the defense, because anytime anyone goes for it on 4th down, that's telling you as a defense that you can't stop us. We don't think that you can. And when you actually do, that may put a little dent in the confidence of the offense the next time they hit the field.
Yeah, we'll see if they can bring that pride, the offense, this go-around. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24.
Here we go. Here we go.
Off play action. Howard.
Oh, and that is incomplete.
Some coaches like to take the shorter, more reliable yardage, and some, they like to go for the big shot. No fear in risking a deep ball there, but it wasn't enough to get them to completion.
The Steelers on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Looking to throw. Howard.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Oh, this defense knows. 4th quarter, they need to make a play. That one was ripe for the taking. Could have changed the complexion of the ball game, but it winds up incomplete.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Well, the offense failed earlier on the previous crack at this, but they're going again on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on 4th down. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. Inside handoff, Henry. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball.
From the 21, here's 2nd down and 7. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game.
So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
And here he'll get it down to the 7.
So they cite the right guard this time with a holding penalty.
And so many different assignments you can have at that position, and sometimes you might just be a step too late and have to grab and hold on.
And this 3rd down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. A 20th carry now for Derrick Henry. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. And his kick is indeed good.
So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
Throwing to start the drive. Howard. And that is incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
They'll come up now on 2nd down.
Let's go. Street. Warrior 70. Dragon 60. Panther 60.
Back to throw. Howard. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
That was one they needed to connect on. They're down, but not quite out. So you have to figure, with under 2 minutes to play, they need to hit on something in very short order.
And now a tough spot here. This is 3rd and 10.
Operating from the gun. Howard flushed out right. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds.
Well, he was looking at a dime formation, 6 defensive backs on the field, so he's looking for anyone to throw the football to, but he didn't have anyone open, so he took off and ran for it, but he came up just short, and that brings up 4th down.
The decision made for them. They've got to go. It's 4th down.
Let's go now.
Looking to throw. Howard. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Ravens are looking like they're going to come away with a victory. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Henry up the middle. Fights loose. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowland.